Oh, hey, did you know that there's actually a UFC show scheduled for next weekend? Yeah, because Wiz had one last week, and there's no such thing as oversaturating the market. That's not a horrible public policy to have for a corporation, none so ever. But hey, we got it anyway. UFC 185 with a surprisingly decent looking main event for a change. We actually have Anthony Pettis, aka that guy who runs up the cage and kicks people in the face, taking on Rafael dos Anjos, who is a really good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy who seemed like he's going to be a journeyman for a while, but he's been on a roll. Really good technique. Obviously, he's got great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, good cardio. But Anthony Pettis is going to beat him. Pettis, he's just fighting a different level. He's fast, he's ferocious, he hits hard. He has that reckless intent. When he throws a punch, he throws it for a knockout, and he can get it. I mean, this is a dude that's choked out Ben Henderson, he beat up Gilbert Melendez, made him look terrible. These are guys who are really, top rank. At one point in time, these were, number one in the world ranked lightweights, and he's made them look very, very bad. He's knocked off other top tier guys like Donald Cerrone, and he's made it look very easy. This Dos Santos kid, he's very good. He's got a lot of upside. I don't think he's going to be completely out of title contention. This may not be his only title shot because I think he's very versatile, and he's definitely one of the better fighters in the division overall. But Pettis, just too many weapons, too fast, too accurate. He can beat you so many ways. I think he's going to end up beating Dos Santos. Second round, TKO. No head kick, was a ground and pound. Women's strawweight championship matchup: Carla Espanza taking on Joanna. You know what? I don't care. You can call me a misogynist, you can call me a chauvinist, but frankly, when I pay money to go see a Ultimate Fighting Championship show, I'm not really there to watch 105-pound anorexics wail on each other. I might watch Ronda Rousey, just tear a woman's arm off just for the lulls, but I really have no interest in this one. Sorry, just don't. I'm being the voice of the casual fan. I'll be honest when nobody else will. I'm going to give it a Sparza. Why not? Defending champion retains, blah. Anyway, back to the real fights. Johnny Hendricks taking on Matt Brown. This should be the fightiest fight of all time. Matt Brown, I would say this every single time, former heroin junkie, turned MMA booty kicker. And Johnny Hendricks, of course, is Johnny Hendricks. He's got that killer left hand, got the beard. He looks like a bushwhacker, trying to get back into a welterweight title contention. I want to say it's going to be a very competitive fight, but I think Hendricks goes in there and he makes a statement. Brown, he's a very, very good fighter, but I think Johnny, he goes in there and he re-earns that big rig namesake, and he gets a solid highlight reel first round knockout, and Brown has to scramble to see what's due to his career. Roy Nelson taking on Alistair Overeem. I might have to order this pay-per-view now because these fights just look so one-dimensional and one-sided. This is like the ultimate style clash. You've got Alistair Overeem, this dude who's got like the ultimate physique, and he's taking on arguably the only guy in the division who has a gas tank that's not as equipped as his, Roy Nelson. Lots of flab taking on not chemically engineered muscle. This is really the most interesting fight in the lineup, I think. Overeem, obviously, the guy can get knocked out. He can get dropped. Roy Nelson's got some heavy hands. Really, the cardio is going to be the big issue here because this could turn into an absolute debacle with both guys getting exhausted in the first round and just grasping, for straws and gasping for air for the rest of the fight. But Roy Nelson, second round, knockout. Just going that way. Chris Carrizio taking on Henry Cejudo. I'm going to go with Carrizio, decision. Preliminary card, not that you really care, but we'll go through them anyway. Ross Pearson against Sam Stout. I'm going to take Pearson. Middleweight, Elias Dodoro versus Roger Narvaez. I'm going to go with Narvaez. Lightweight, Darren Cruikshank taking on Benelli DeRish. I'm going to go with DeRish. Heavyweight matchup, Gerald Rochold taking on versus Josh Copeland. Rochold. In the 5-pass matchup, Sergio Pettis against Ryan Benoit, taking Benoit. Jake Lindsay against Joseph Duffy. I'm going to go with Duffy. And women's bantamweight, I'm going to go get nachos instead because I don't really care about that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, that's UFC 185. Looks to be just another show, to be frankly honest with you. Nothing too exciting on that lineup. Could be some interesting material, but frankly, I'll just watch the highlights on ESPN the next day. If you spend $60 on this, you really need to reevaluate your life. But we got good shows coming up, so just hang in there, get through this one, and I'll be seeing you at the cage for a show that matters very shortly.